Okay, this is going to be part three of January the 30th, 2025. It's still new moon energy. Islam, my nation of Moors, Sheikh the Wayne Bey, and Iran, West Islam. So, um, okay, so I'm been experiencing four sharp pains in my knee for the past like 2 weeks. It's not natural. Definitely, that which are that has a telepathic code um, are doing it. Humanoid AI and transhumans are doing it. And so this what they're doing is sending a force sharp pain here to have some form of fluid to exist on my knee. Because if I exercise and eat food according to the chemistry of my body, it's more of a challenge for them to implement mental possession and traffic the body where I'm allowing it to happen. Because their goal is to dominate, to implement bondage. It's easier to implement bondage upon a human mind when the human being is physically unhealthy, mentally. So when you are physically unhealthy, it's usually because um, somehow you are mentally unhealthy. The chemistries in your body is off balance. And if you are sick or experiencing forms of dis-ease, whether obesity, um, other form of sickness that may exist that's attacking the body, um, you are more vulnerable to be forced engaged by the filth that's unclean. And especially and then if you go to the doctor and you're on medication, your your body becomes dependent. If your body becomes dependent on the medication, your mind is to have a form of relief. The last thing you want to do is experience dis-ease because the medication is a band-aid. So you keep going back for the medication. So if that is a form of program to keep humans from not wanting to feel pain. So if what is happening here in Annapolis with me experiencing forced sharp pains is the same procedure, the same program. So if they can um, cause so much dis-ease where I want a band-aid of relief from them force um, engaging, deliberately causing sickness or mental imbalance, then they have won because the goal is to dominate, subjugate. This is the connection to the health situation on this landmass being so bad, I guess you want to say, or so overwhelming with the inhabitants on this landmass. It's because of, I think, my thoughts, they're not taking time. We are not taking time to study our bodies, the chemistry, and then to top it off, corrupt governments of the United States allowing these transhumans, some of them are definitely immigrants, and some of them are homegrown, to cause sickness, dis-ease to the humans, so making them more vulnerable to be forced engaged mentally and physically. So they can use the body, traffic the body in the mind. So if I'm going to use this, I've already experienced this thought, so I'm going to use the thought. So with President, the President Trump, saying that he's going to make this landmass, America, crypto capital of the world, Okay, and so many are excited about possibly about a possibility of being relieved from a generation of poverty, because they might have a chance, possibly so many, to experience what the preamble said we are supposed to experience anyway, through natural law, prosperity. Well, if you're not in your natural state mentally, something else is in your body and trafficking your mind. Who who is really experiencing prosperity? What is experiencing prosperity with cryptocurrency? Who is experiencing the high rise? So you put $1,000 in Doge and it goes up to $2. Who experienced that money of that high rise? What is it in the who? What's in the body? What's in the mind? This is the connection to being here in Annapolis and hearing that which speaks Spanish from South Central America and Mexico, black Negroes and black Negroes, pale skins, and others saying we need it when they close by me. Because if you're not in your natural state mentally, and there's a science that can remove your consciousness and create a whole new form of you, a transformed human. What is experiencing prosperity? A transformed human that truly has not been naturalized? A humanoid AI that's in the body? Or other entities? Maybe it's some type of entity from South Central America, Mexico, or Africa. Why you're just so adamant about um, no deportation? It's like, I don't want to be. I'm against deportation. No, no, or I'm all for Africa. We all come from Africa. We don't. We come from Africa. Nobody was born here. We all came from Africa or other. So what I'm getting at is there's a reason, an agenda why these entities say we need it and want to traffic the body and the mind, because they can use the body and the mind for other things than just sex. If it's a important politician, they can use that body, that mind, to sign different or implement different legalities, law. As for me, I think it's a good thing that deportation on a mass level is happening. That's of those that are not in the constitutional fold. But it's not. But that's just physical. It has to be done spiritual. It has to be done spiritual, and it has to be known. It has to be done mentally, because what they are doing now. So if a TV that's that is a program from South Central America, Mexico. So they're watching a program from South Central America, Mexico, okay, on TV that speaks Spanish, and those humanoid AIs there can tune in and force engage the minds of humans here on this landmass. Why do they need to actually be on this landmass in a physical form? To they still immigrating without being naturalized, using bodies, trafficking the body and the mind. So deportation on a mass level without demonstrating the spirit of truth of what we are among is, to me, can be very useless. Elon Musk. It can be. I say this in humility. And my nation of Moors, sheep the wing by Bay, because it's not just physical. In the spirit of truth, we are among that which traffics the body and the mind and use different portals, whether it's the TV, the radio, or other forms of frequencies, to do so through electronic devices. So that from South Central America and Mexico, that is werewolf, birdman, other form of lab experiments that make humans sick. The blacks, which are here, homegrown, that are humanoid AI, transhuman, or other forms of lab freaks or that are lab experiments that make humans sick, or pale skins, same thing, Chinese, whatever. They don't have to be on the in the physical. Just this is why I keep, which I'm going to start recording again. Why they stalk, how they're able to stalk the apartment or a house or a family without physically showing their bodies. How they're able to force engage while you're sleeping. With the United States Navy, Army, and other military branches existing here in Annapolis and all over this landmass and different and all over the celestial, all over organic planet Earth. I like to call it celestial orb now. So deportation on a mass level, if you're not implementing truth with it and taking care of all parts of it, of what needs to be done to truly implement the spirits of freedom, you are still implementing a lie, and you are deceiving the people. You are no you are demonstrating and living on the deceit or the bloodshed that has been, or benefiting from the bloodshed that has been committed through trafficking of the mind and the body that has existed for a long time. So this is a thought. I'm not saying you're doing this, but this is the thought of the President Trump, Elon Musk, and other officials trying to make America great. How do you make America great without speaking and demonstrating what is truth of what we are among? How do you do that? At Whole Foods, I noticed getting on a different. It's been so odd because I was like, when I first started working at Whole Foods as e-commerce, okay, I noticed I've been shopping at Whole Foods for years, since June of 2016, approximately. And I would see definitely those that come to Burger King, but when I started working there through e-commerce, I was noticing people from Burger King was coming there that I saw more than usual than I would see before, and I was so surprised. And a few of them would like actually stop and try to talk to me while I'm there. I'm like, okay. And at the time, I was like trying my best to um, do what I'm supposed to do. Recently, because now I'm at Prepared Foods, and I'm very happy to be at Whole Foods. Trust me, I am. I'm very happy to be at Whole Foods. But I find it so odd to see, because I've talked about how some of the ex-employees from Burger King work at Whole Foods and have worked at Whole Foods, because I've seen them when I used to buy and still buy food there. I don't go anywhere else usually too much. I used to spend maybe a 1% at Giant, but now since I'm now closer to Whole Foods that I wanted to be anyway, uh, now it's pretty much 99.5%. I buy at Whole Foods anyway. Whole Foods. So anyway, to make a long story short, I'm just noticing that I definitely I've heard it's like a humanoid, like an AI. I'm just saying AI, like speaking. I could be wrong. It could be like through the over the intercom saying Burger King. I thought it was so odd. I was like, why am I hearing Burger King over the intercom here? Also, because you know the frequencies of the AI can follow you and also project your voice, um, so that it sounds like you're saying something, and it's not you because they can replicate your voice and project your voice on the physical plane, and the cameras pick up. But not only that, but they just like they can be in the apartment, transhuman, humanoid, where you don't have to see the body. They can teleport. They can also follow you as you are going about your day to day, planning thoughts, replicating thoughts and behavior, because their goal is to pull from the energy of your mind as the human mind and manipulate the mind. So another thing I noticed also, and they can also help create lawsuits. So I'm not accusing Burger King, I'm just giving testimony. So if companies have humanoid AI um, and use them to stalk someone who they might find, who, first of all, if they're trying to implement bondage. So if it's a company, because it's a lot of times, I think, in reference to hearing different situations of lawsuit, I bet if you dig far enough, it is about bondage. It's some form of implementation being outside of constitutional law. Okay, so companies or corporations can own a AI or and use humanoid AI to definitely create lawsuits or to strengthen a lawsuit, especially if they can use them to force mental engage the human, to cause them to demonstrate behaviors which they're trying to create a lawsuit about. And if the company, if they have a collaboration of others working with them that say yes, yes, or even they might not even have to lie, if they are able to force engage the mind, because I've experienced this, and they are able to call someone to speak words or demonstrate a behavior which they are trying to strengthen their lawsuit about. They don't, at first, yes, they do have, they might lie a lot. But then they, after a while, if the person, the mind and body is possessed, they don't have to lie. The body and the mind is theirs, and they just wait for that person to do something where they know for a fact they have a lawsuit, because they want to implement bondage. And if they cannot implement bondage or forced breeding the way they want, the next thing is to try to implement imprisonment or some form of economic hardship, income hardship. I used the word economic hardship recently. Um, the manager, James at Burger King, clocked me out. Forced clocked me out by implying that I did not want to work after and after I had did so much work that day, and he just literally just like he has been gone for a while. I don't know, months implied. I don't know. I haven't seen him, Then maybe about a month ago or a month and a half ago, he appeared, and he started working. He started working on my shift, and he was like complaining, just started complaining about me like he used to when he worked there. And all I can think of is I'm so thankful and grateful that, because it has been implied slightly that they needed someone. Well, I asked one time. I asked Burger King. I said, Burger King, I asked the manager, Booker. Um, this was recent. Well, when I say recent, it would probably been like July, before I was hired at Whole Foods as e-commerce. It was right before I was hired at Whole Foods as e-commerce. I was like, I can work Sunday, I can work nights. I told him I'm open to work. He said he didn't need anyone to work nights because I needed the hours. And then just so then soon after that, um, after I asked and had the conversation, he said he didn't need anyone. He didn't need anyone on nights. I was hired at e-commerce. So, and at Whole Foods, I was hired for e-commerce, the department of e-commerce at Whole Foods. So I was like, okay, everything works out well. I still have another income, and I have my hours. But it seemed like it was implied that they needed someone to stay. Even James, when he returned to work, I was like, he even asked me, could I stay later? I was like, no, I cannot stay later. I realized after he came back to work and he's working nights, I was thinking to myself, I'm very spiritual. I was like, I am so thankful and grateful that I never agreed to work. I never came back to work, and I never worked nights here, because I didn't know. I assumed, because I haven't seen him in months. I assumed he didn't work at Burger King anymore, but I wasn't sure because I don't work nights. But then now, about a month and a half, he came back and he works nights. And all he did, as soon as I saw him, like the first, he just went back to the same things of complaining without just reasons. Like just like he force clocked me out like he used to in the past. After usually someone African American or Black would be close by, or after I just took someone's that's African American Black order. And then after that, after he first clocked me out, Black male did walk past me. It sounded like he said baby as he walked past me as I was coming out of the kitchen next to the bathroom, um, not too far from the bathroom. So I don't know if he was using that word towards me, but I've heard the word baby in this new apartment. And in the past at the hotel, from a frequency or accent that sound like African American Black males, and hear some of them say on the street too. So all I can tell you is because of I had my reasons, trust me, of why I didn't want to work nights. Uh, in reference to um, seeing different Black males come to Burger King after and possibly at night, and other reasons, and then the issues with some of the managers. But that was just total confirmation. I had no idea that he was coming back to work. I didn't know why, but as soon as he came back, he just started complaining and just about me. And then sure enough, he did the exact same thing that he was been doing in the past. He interfered with my income by force clocking me out without a just reason. He just clocked me out, saying I didn't want to work after I worked with Booker and I did so many tasks that day. He implied, he said, "Look at all this food. Just clock out." I was like, "I'm not clocking out. I was trying to expedite. The customer just got through complaining about her food, and I've been trying to expedite, and he just didn't give me a chance." I said, "I'm not clocking out. I'm not clocking myself out." He clocked me out. So, um, anyway, so I used the word economic hardship with that, because that's exactly what that is after you clock someone out so many times.